What's up, guys? Jordan David here. We're bringing back an old classic that we were doing pre-COVID, and that's New Comic Wednesday reviews. Normally you got George and Santino. We thought we'd give it a try this time. Didn't look that hard. So I wanted to start off a couple new DC books that are coming out. I'm a closet DC fan. Mostly just Batman. I love Batman.
Closet DC fan.
All right. We have the Jurassic League as a new comic. It's a 6-part series. It's basically a retelling of the Justice League during prehistoric times, but all the Justice League members are dinosaurs. It's a fun little twist on the Justice League story. Good for kids, not super violent. They do kind of throw you right into it, assuming that you know. But I really like the artwork on it. The setup for the Joker and the Batman in here is pretty cool. And I kind of want to see where it goes from there. Batman is still his super detective self, but also a Tyrannosaurus. Kind of funny.
Interesting to sneak around when your head is that big and your arms are that small.
Yeah, it's Wonder Woman's a Triceratops. Superman's a Brontosaurus from another planet that doesn't have a long neck. I don't know what actually Superman is, but it was a really fun read. I think something that you can pick up for your kids. Pretty safe for that one. What did you read?
Speaking of something that is a little more on the wacky side, we've got the next issue in What If Miles Morales. This time, What If Miles Morales was Hulk? It's just another classic twist on a well-known, well-beloved character, especially with the new Into the Spider-Verse movie coming out hopefully soon, I think towards the end of the year. Getting up on your Miles Morales information, even though it's a what if, it's still fun, it's still a good time. This being the third in the What If Miles Morales series, definitely it's still Miles, it's still the Miles you know, it's still got all the relationships you know Miles to have, but this time instead of being bit by a spider, he becomes Hulk. And shenanigans ensue, as they always do in What If comics. And the end of this one teases the next What If Miles Morales, which is going to be interesting to say the least. I want to keep an eye on that one for sure.
I love that they're bringing more What Ifs in. What If was a popular series on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
And Miles Morales has become one of the favorite Spider-Man of the world. Yeah. Having somebody that's not Peter Parker or a clone of Peter Parker be Spider-Man is pretty cool.
Yeah, and especially with the new Into the Spider-Verse is going to be coming out at the end of the year. We're going to get to see a lot more different Spider people that we didn't even the first one. It looks like we're going a little wild on this one, but I'm excited for it.
Speaking of fun new twists on books, we have issue 9 of I Am Batman comes out this week. If you don't know, the I Am Batman story has Lucius Fox's son take over as Bruce Wayne or as Batman, and he works alongside the police a little bit more than Bruce does. I'm all for a twist on Batman. Part of my favorite storylines are Batman storylines that don't include Batman, like Commissioner Gordon, Terry McGinnis, Thomas Wayne. Yeah. Those stories really do twist on the Batman storyline. As much as I love Batman, we all know his story.
We know Batman. We've known Batman. We have, 3 different Batman origin stories? 4, technically, if you count Clooney, just in movies alone, much less comic book resets. We know Batman. Different Batmans are always good.
Yeah, and it's also the first time that we've had a black guy be Batman. Everybody else has been a white person. Mm-hmm. They're going for their diversity in comics, and I actually really enjoy that.
Yeah, appreciate it.
It's really good, and it's a really good read. It's a little bit more edgy than where Batman is usually a detective grit. It's more of the personal issue of him trying to deal with his personal life rather than dealing with being the Batman. So that's kind of cool. The ending teases a really big plot point that's coming up in the next issue. That was really cool. Definitely worth a read. If you haven't picked up I Am Batman, it's a very good series so far.
Next on the list, we've got Madripoor with the cool side comic cover. This is definitely not the Madripoor you know from the Falcon and Winter Soldier TV show. This is comic book Madripoor. On as Madripoor as you get, with the crazy aliens and the crazy wackiness that happens. This series specifically is a more X-Men focused series, and this issue is led by a team of 4 of the women X-Men, which is nice to see. We have Enchantress, Jean Grey, Rogue, and X-23, which is nice. It's nice to see all them. especially since for the movie fans, X-23 has really only shown up in Logan. She's full-grown adult here, full character, lots of comic backstory to read up on, to catch up on that character. And this is looking to be a great kind of heist-themed comic featuring those 4 characters using their specific abilities. There's also a few other storylines going on in this comic that are branching into other stories that you definitely want to keep an eye on. This one for following the overall narrative that the comic book Marvels comics are going for.
I like that they're branching more into stuff that they've touched on in the Disney Plus series, because it tends to be that they have their timelines where they'll put up more information on something that they teased in the Disney Plus shows to get you to read into the comics, which is really cool, because reading comics, I mean, I've done it since I was a kid. I came here, went to other local comic book shops to get a bunch of issues. I mean,
There's a reason the MCU works. It's because they're taking from these storylines that have been out for decades, and they're still making them.
Yeah, and I mean, the artwork's got to be great in a lot of these. I haven't seen anything. My least favorite comic of all time is The Dark Knight Rises Returns. Love the story, hate the artwork.
Yeah.
All the artwork that I've read in these books so far has been amazing.
Yeah.
We have another number 1 coming up. We're going to the Red Sonia verse right now with Red Sitha. New character that they're focusing on in this. It's a knight saves the girl type story, but with a badass female protagonist, which we come to expect from this universe.
Yeah, it's the Red Sonia.
Yeah, Red Sonia Vampirella. Their whole universe is all about the women empowerment, which is really cool.
They are a little bit more for mature readers, but if you're at that stage in your comic book reading lifespan, these are definitely some must-reads.
Yes, and Sitha's kind of like a no-nonsense girl who's just trying to make her way. Wasn't a bad read. Definitely recommended it just as a number 1. I think it's a good pickup. These Red Sonios tend to go quite quick, and we do have a copy of the 10-to-1 variant that's not going to last very long, but it is a virgin cover, so something that first person to come in and grab it. They tend to go rather quickly.
Yeah, first dibs, first come, first serve for all those classics. Next up, keeping it with red, we've got Moon Knight, Black, White, and Blood. This is one of the, every now and then the comics will do a kind of theme with the color of the panels. So this entire comic is black, white, and red. And it is Moon Knight, especially with the success of the Disney Plus TV show that just wrapped up its season finale last week. This is Moon Knight. It is classic Moon Knight. If you like the trippy, unknowable unreliable storyteller stuff that Moon Knight is kind of known for in the comics, and definitely showed off in the TV show, this is Moon Knight. There's like 15 different times in this comic where the first panel shows up again. You're like, I don't know if this is the same story. It's Moon Knight. He gets to team up with a couple superheroes, a lot of which are red-based. Minor spoilers. Some inclusions there that definitely fit the color palette of the comic and make for some fun banter with Moon Knight's specific characterization matched up against theirs. There's some iconic Moon Knight allies that make their way through, as well as it being the gritty, gory Moon Knight story that Moon Knight is known for at this point. This was the first one that I read that made me smile like multiple times throughout the comic. It's definitely highly recommend this one. This one looks very good.
I'm a little behind on my Moon Knight. I watched the show. I used to read this when I was younger. A lot of the older comics that my dad had. He wasn't as crazy as they've added the personas. Like with Mr. Knight, does Mr. Knight show up in there at all? Because he's like,
I don't know. No, I can't say. No spoilers. Right. No spoilers. Right. I'll say there's more than just the normal Moon Knight, but no spoilers on if Mr. Knight or something else pops up.
All right. My last one that I wanted to go over today, and he was doing all the Marvel, so I wanted to do one. 2 of the best superheroes in the Marvel Universe, 2 of the strongest. You have the strongest Avenger, and then you have Thor.
The mighty Thor, if you will.
These guys fight all the time in the comics. They fight all the time in the show. That's their dynamic because they're competing over their strength. But we have a new 5-part issue of them fighting. This takes place after the War of the Realms storyline. It kind of gives you a recap, so if you haven't read War of the Realms that happened 2019, you're not going to miss much. They do a good job catching you up if you haven't read the story.
It's a good entry point to that saga.
And the beginning for fans of, again, we're going to go into these Disney Plus shows, is set up in a very similar way as to one of the shows. Not going to talk about that. No spoilers there, but there's a Street Fighter gag in here. There's a lot of cool throwaway panels that are like hints to not Marvel, not DC worlds that you might be familiar with, just based on the art. It was actually pretty fun. It's a lot of fighting. The literal back half of this book is Thor and Hulk punching.
It's Thor and Hulk. If they're versus and they're not fighting, what's the point of Hulk versus Thor?
There's a very interesting thing going on with Hulk in this comic, though. No spoilers. You should really pick up issue 1. We've got every variant that came out. I think it's going to be really fun the entire time. And the thing that's going on with Hulk is a very cool twist that I haven't seen previously in stories. I didn't read the War of the Realm. I'm actually going to go catch up on it after we record this video. For
got some homework for us.
Something else. But the cool thing that they do with Hulk in here, I haven't seen it done before, and I kind of like it because it gives you, well, a different side to the Hulk banner story, if you will. If you guys want to get a subscription of your own for any comics that come out, we do offer a subscription program here. It is 10% off cover price of the comics, as well as free bags and boards. You can order however many as you like, however little as you like. If you just care about reading this storyline, don't ever want to order anything else, but you want to guarantee that you get it, we offer that. It's just a way to make sure you get your comics, and we want to encourage you to read more comics. I have a lot of families that have come in here with these are their entry points to getting kids into the cool Marvel TV shows and to help them read, which is cool. And we have Die Hard. We have some 6-year-old guys come in here, get comics. We'll hold your comics for a reasonable amount of time for you to come and pick them up.
It's like 6 to 9 months.
Yeah, like, you know, we understand gas prices are high, but we do offer you the chance to subscribe to whatever you like. We do
and the
offer.
subscription process itself is free. You just come to the shop, let us know, or give us a phone call. We'll get you on the mailing list and to set you up with whatever subscription you need, whatever comic runs you want, whatever cover variants you want, anything that you're looking for comic-wise that we as a store can buy for you, we'll send it your way.
If there's some back issues that you're looking for, we can try to look up those too. We do have a good selection of back issues here that you're welcome to look through.
That's why they're in the back.
We can try to complete any storylines. Just look us up online. We'll put the descriptions to all of our stuff in the box below. But till next time, guys, this has been David and Jordan taking over New Comic Wednesday.